There's a guy named Gary Vee. I used to talk about him a lot when I first started watching his videos, like in older podcasts and stuff. I don't mention him as much, but I just learn. I learned so much from him, man. He's always stressing the importance of kindness. You know, being a bigger person, and leading through example and stuff. And I know some people can't get into his videos because they don't like his tonality or the way he yells or what you call it. Maybe the cursing and stuff like that. But man, I've learned so much from him, man. Like him as a CEO, I've never heard of people being so in love with their boss when they go to work. Most people hate their boss because one thing about humans, you give them a little bit of power, or someone starts making 25 cents, 25 cents over $1 more than you. And, now that it affects the way they treat you, the way they see you or whatever, because they got promoted or because they got, so, and his view on life is is crazy, it's really admirable. I remember one time, because he has 800 employees, or like 1,000 now though, and he was like, but the way he perceives it, he says, I don't have 800 employees, I have 800 bosses, I work for 800 people. And it was interesting that he put it like that, because most bosses view their workers as servants, under them. And that's it, just as servants, but not as people with lives, with things that matter to them and goals and, stuff that they would like to accomplish. And he's always asking his employees, yo, like, so what do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? Like really trying to get to know them and stuff. And I remember I saw this one particular video. He was like, I never want any of my employees or people that work for me to feel like when they're in the elevator with me that I'm so much above them that they can't even say hello, or because my net worth is so much higher, or because I get paid so much more. You know what I mean? He was like, yo, like none of that matters, He was like, yo, who am I, like, in the scheme of things? So I don't know, just overall like a really good dude. And yeah, that was something he used to say, right? He used to be like, yo, I love losing. And it sounded weird at first because it's like, yo, who the hell loves losing? But then he started to explain more. He was like, losing is part of the game, it's part of the process. Some people hate losing so much that, like, when they lose a basketball game, they want to fight. You know what I mean? You lose a chess game, you want to fight. You want to argue, or you want to say someone cheated, or, you know, or you want, like, it happens in video games all the time. People play fighting games, and people be like, oh, I could beat you if you didn't pick that character. You know what I mean? So you keep getting spanked by one character that someone keeps picking. So you feel like, oh, you'd beat them if they pick somebody else. But that means you're not strong if you can't conquer somebody in their best, whatever their best is, And I used to play a lot of video games. I remember I used to get frustrated because people used to like spam the same move and stuff. And, but it's like, yo, but how good am I? Like, if we're playing Tekken and you only know two moves and you keep beating me with those two moves, why would you ever switch up your strategy? You know what I mean? Like, in basketball, they say, yo, if the same play keeps working, or in football, baseball, keep running the same play. Like, why would you switch it up and make it easier for your opponent to beat you? Like, why would you do any, like, if you're boxing, you keep hitting him with the left hook, keep throwing it if it keeps landing. But, somehow, like, which makes sense. That strategy makes sense there. But when it comes to video games, or when it comes to us, other people beating us in sports, because it's an inconvenience to us, that's why we don't want them to run the same play on us, because we don't know how to, you know what I mean? I remember this one guy, he used to play Tekken a lot, and he used to grab people a lot, and people hated grabs because, like, it's hard to break it, or you have to, like, duck so that they can't grab you and stuff. And he would grab so much, and that's how he won a lot of his matches. And people were mad because they didn't have a defense for that. And it's like, yo, instead of getting mad at someone kicking your ass, like, step your defense up, you know what I mean? Like, the better man deserves to win. But anyways, so I was listening to Gary, right? Not today, but like I'm thinking about old videos I used to watch. And he used to say it multiple times, like, yo, I love losing. I love losing. Like, I love losing. And then he mentioned that he loves the process. He loves the journey of going from zero. Give me a second. Going from 0 to 100. He was like, he likes losing because it sets him back so that he can stay in the game longer, because he loves the game more than the results. Most people love the trophies, or the idea of getting a trophy, more than actually playing a game. And that's why they never get the trophy, because all these accumulated losses turns into frustration, it turns into discouragement, it turns into what the hell am I doing and why should I even continue? You know what I mean? Because the results are not coming in as quickly as you think they should, or you're not getting as far as you. But when you love the idea of just getting there, trying to get there, this dude wants to buy a sports team, Gary Vee, right? That's like $3 billion at least. It's probably more than that, you know? And I think he admitted on a video, he was like, yo, there's a chance I might never, he was like, there's a chance I might never actually buy the sports team. But he was like, I like to climb though. I like the idea of trying to buy something that's ridiculously expensive just to see if I'm able to do it. And that's what he loves more than actually buying a sports franchise, you know what I mean, is trying to buy it. And that's why he's always going to have the enthusiasm necessary to continue trying to buy it. Because if it was all about buying the team, then any minor setback would lead to discouragement, like I said, and would lead to him saying, yo, what am I even doing this for? I keep losing money, keep taking an L here, keep taking an L there. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, is it weird? As weird as it sounds, I remember one time I posted some shit. I was like, you know what? If you like losing, I love losing. You know what I mean? Shit don't make no sense to me, but your net worth is $150 million, so I'm gonna listen to you. You know what I mean? And I was like, and he was like, yo, he just focuses on getting better, learning what he could from the L and just moving forward. But people get so crippled by a loss, you know what I mean? And a lot of things are only a loss if you perceive it. If you perceive it to be a loss, then it really is one. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some people that feel like if people know their exact circumstances, let's say your living conditions are not really that exciting, or nothing worth talking about in your opinion, right? Some people take it as an L just because people know your situation. Just what the hell are people going to do to you once they know what you got going on? All they could do is judge you, and then what? Tell other people, and then what? And then a group of people judge you together in their private time. Like, but how is that an L? You know what I mean? Like, people are always going to talk. People are always going to have an opinion about your life and what you should be doing and how you're doing things incorrectly according to their subjective point of view. You know what I mean? That's always going to happen. But it's like, it's only a L if you care about that shit. If you care about people's opinion, you know what I mean? So you're always going to be losing because people are always going to be in that department anyways, because people are always going to have an opinion. People are always going to think that you should do what they're doing. I said this before, like, a bus driver will always advise someone else to be a bus driver. People only know how to give advice based on whatever they're currently doing, A medical assistant will tell someone else to be a medical assistant. An Uber driver will tell somebody else to be an Uber driver. Lawyers will tell people to be lawyers. You know what I'm saying? Doctors will tell people to be doctors. Like, entertainers would suggest, yo, you should get into the entertainment world and try that, Like, everybody's always projecting, what they think is right for someone else based on what they like in life, not realizing that they're not the same person as who they're talking to, So, I don't know. I realized that I'm really starting to understand, like, where Gary's coming from, because I lost a lot, yo. I talk about my losses a lot, but I lost, in the last 4 years, lost like $4,000, lost a lot of money in advertising, like over $600. I bought a lot of courses that I did nothing with. I spent a lot of money, you know what I mean? All the money that I invested was probably 5,000, you know what I mean? At least. I don't perceive none of that shit as a loss, although the world would, you know what I mean? It's just a learning experience. It's the cost of entry. It's the price of admission, So, it's a couple other things I'm going to talk about in this podcast as well, Some people they obsess over what bad things could be happening, right? And I never seen a point of that, There's nothing wrong with being aware of what could be happening. But once you're aware of the shit, why would you vividly imagine it happening all the time? You know what I mean? Like, just imagine it once and then that's it. Move on. And then if it happens the way you imagined it, all the bad stuff, then you just adapt and you find a solution, Like, we're more crippled by our imaginations than we are by what actually is going on. That shit is crazy to think about. It's always your imagination that cripples you. You know what I mean? Like, because your brain doesn't know the difference between what you're imagining and what's happening. That's why if you picture someone cheating on you, they come home, you're going to treat them as if there's so many people that just because they imagine something, it becomes truth in their head, My stepfather, there was a lot of things that he would just assume. And as soon as he assumes it, it's just real to him. because he assumes it has to be true. You know what I mean? Like, all types of shit, man. Um, there was times when his identity got stolen. He thought I did it. You know, all he had to do was imagine me doing it, and in his mind, he can't tell the difference between me actually doing it, or or just him imagining it, because it was real to him. You know, there was a time where the neighbor cut off their damn Wi-Fi, and he thought that I tampered with his laptop. It's like, yo, did you mess with my laptop? It's like, yo, I took him in my room. I showed him, yo, I don't got internet either. Like, look at my PlayStation. Look at how, the same connection you used to, I try to explain to him, yo, when you're leeching off of somebody's Wi-Fi, as soon as they turn off their internet, you have no internet until they turn their shit back on. You know what I mean? But because he just thought that I did it, he thought that I fucked with his shit. In his mind, it was like I might as well had done it, because he just can't separate this is my imagination from, yo, maybe I could be wrong. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like, there's a lot of worst case scenarios. There's a lot of things that could be happening. I just don't think about none of that shit. I just think about goals all the time, what I want to accomplish, and that's it. I don't even think about what's gonna stand in the way of me accomplishing them. But it's not like I'm, people think that, oh, you're naive to what could be happening. No, I'm not. I just don't care as much as you would. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to obsess over a bunch of scenarios that I don't want happening in my life. You know what I'm saying? When it's better to obsess over the things that you don't want happening in your life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you have no happiness, if you're always depressed, if you're always miserable, you know what I'm saying? Most people in miserable states, they start telling themselves that the next 5 years or next, you know what I mean? It's going to be the same. They say shit like, I'll never get over my depression. I'll never be any different. I'll never, and then that shit becomes true to them, because they're putting a cap on their potential based on what they tell themselves has to keep on happening. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't have to continue happening. Like, there is alternatives. There is books you could read. There is, you know what I'm saying? There's content that we could consume to become stronger people. But if we have no willingness to consume the content that makes us stronger, because our past is speaking so much louder than the things that could make us strong, then we'll never have motivation to find out how to be stronger, how to have faith, how to not live in fear. One thing I never understood is someone who believes in God for real. Like, you really believe he's there, but yet you're scared out of your mind every day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the God of the universe breathed into dirt, and from the dirt stood up a man. Like, this is the type of shit, if you're a believer, you believe, right? Noah's Ark, crazy ass story. You believe that, like Moses parting a body of water in half and walking through the middle. And then, once his people get across, the water coming together and collapsing on people that were chasing them. Like, you believe that shit. Like, why can't you, like, people who live in fear and believe in God, why can't you believe things are going to be okay in your life? You know what I mean? I'm never going to understand someone that believes in God, but yet they rationalize worrying. That's the dumbest thing you could rationalize, considering that because your fear is proof that you don't really believe, you don't really trust God. You know what I mean? Like, you might think he's there, but you don't trust him with your life and that things are going to be okay. That's why we worry. And it's like, oh no, but bad stuff could be happening. It's like, yeah, I get it. It could be happening. There's a lot of shit that could be happening, but it doesn't mean it will happen. So I saw his quote. I'm gonna post it later. It was like, yo, it's better to deal with the bad things as it's happening, than to imagine a bunch of things that didn't happen yet and feel like, yo, what's up? What's going on, bro? How you doing, man? Everything is well. I'm off to church. Good to see you, man. Yeah, happy Easter and all that stuff, man. Um, yeah, so, I forgot where I was at. So I'm gonna just jump back into the original topic, which was, just Gary V, man, talking about how he loves losing. And, I took a lot of L's, but it's not I don't care. Yo, you ever play basketball or you ever play a game with somebody and they make the game kind of hard to enjoy, because every time they lose, they break a controller, they scream, they say you cheated, and it's like, bro, just take this L, man. Like, why are you so mad? Like, the type of, exactly who I'm talking about. The people that you don't want to play a game of cards with, because they take a game of cards as if $1 million is on the line if they win or if they lose. They act like it's a life and death situation. You know what I mean? And these become the people that you don't want to play with. So it's much better, like, and sometimes some of the most talented people, they'll complain the most about the people around them that don't have their talent or their skill. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if like Michael Jordan ever got mad at the people for not having his level of skill. It's like, bro, you're Jordan. Not everybody could do the shit that you like. Yeah, we're all in the NBA and shit. But if you think we have hang time like you do, or we have, because they might not love the game as much as he does. This dude loved basketball, and you could just see that in the way that he plays, You could see how much he loves what he does, And I think that's the key to improving in everything. I think it's important to love what you do. You know. So I'm gonna tell you a story, right? Like, so I'm $45,000 in debt, right? A lot of a huge part of my family think that's a major L. I don't give a fuck about $45,000 because once I recuperate all that I know that I'm worth of, all that I know that I'm capable of getting in terms of money, man, that's gonna be nothing to me one day. So I really believe that. That's why that doesn't bother me. You know, and all the like, man, there's people that trip out over $1, over paying a toll and stuff, and it's like, bruh. Like, so I don't know, man. When you don't got big ass goals that you're looking forward to, like, you'll get caught up in $1, $2. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was something that happened recently, right? I went to a studio, I recorded 9 songs, I only got back like 7, right? Like 6 or 7, you know. And I got a friend that was like, yo, what if this dude steals one of your songs and gives it to somebody else? I'm like, fuck it. Well, if it happens, it happens, and then I'll deal with shit accordingly when it happens. I'm not gonna get, you know what I mean? What can I do now if someone was gonna do that? Shit. If you take a song that I wrote and you give it to an artist and you try to boost them up, yeah, you could take a song, but you can't take the artist's mind. That you can't have. You know what I mean? And one song to me is like comparing 1 penny to $100 bill. Like, what the fuck is 1 penny if you have $100? You know what I mean? You're gonna trip over losing a penny? Do you think a millionaire is gonna trip over losing $1? You know? So it's like you gotta push it in perspective, and you gotta just know that, like, if you really believe that you can make, and there's some people that they are like, their head is in the clouds, right? Like, they think that they're worth $10 million, but they don't know how to bring that level of, my bad, yo, a lot of beeping and shit. They don't know how to bring that level of value to the marketplace. You know what I mean? Like, they just fantasize about, man, I wish I had $10 million. And they wish about it so much that they're like, you know what, maybe one day I could, but they don't have things that they could use to get there. It's just an imagination, or they're not putting work towards it, like their mouth is speaking things that, their actions is not, their words are speaking louder than their actions, So anyways, I was gonna say, so so yeah, I just learned a lot, listening to Gary's videos and stuff like that. But back to the songs I was saying, right? One song to me, right? Because I have like 150 songs. I'm sure that I have like 400 songs inside of me, unwritten songs that I've never even worked on yet, that are coming. That's how much potential. That's how much, like, because when I do these podcasts, I could talk a lot. So imagine I translate all this talking into music. You know how much fucking music that is? I mean, 150 songs alone is a lot, So, and I could talk all day. So it's like, I could imagine what other stuff I could come up with, So right now, if, the studio where I did 9 songs, if I only get back 7, if the motherfucker steals 2 and sends it to somebody else, or however many, you know what I'm saying? Then it's like, that's not a loss to me, but to someone else, that's a loss. And it's like, yo, bro, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna get mines. Like, whether people steal from me, whether people act funny, whether people try to backstab me, whether people, you know what I'm saying? Like, because, yo, here's the crazy thing about life, right? All of us had to deal with a lot of similar situations, I mean, some situations are unique, but there's so many damn people on this planet that your situation can't be that unique, because there has to be at least 1 million people going through exactly what you're going through, regardless of whatever the hell it is, because there's so many people on the planet, You could just throw a rock in the air and you'll hit a random person in the head, like, like, I could just write a rap right now. I could write a rhyme about a fictional story, but a fictional story that is probably happening somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Like, like, that's what directors do with movies. They make up shit. They make up names and plots and, scenes and stuff. But all the stuff that they were making up is probably happening somewhere in the world, you know? And it's crazy to think about. So, you know, sometimes when we go through shit, we be thinking that our problems are so unique and there's no one else going through it. It's like, nah, bro, it's like mad people going through it. It's just people are not, you know, some people are not vocal about their problems. Some people are going through exactly what you're going through and you wouldn't even know because they don't talk about themselves like that or the bad like that because they don't want to magnify the bad aspects of their life, you know what I mean? So, anyways. So yeah, man, I think when you really believe you're gonna get somewhere, whatever things are happening that might be a hindrance to most other people won't be a hindrance to you because you never lose sight of the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're playing a game of basketball, like so what if you miss a basket? So what if you miss a layup? So what if you lose a game or two? You know what I mean? Like just keep playing, like, you know. But like getting back to like sports and just there's so many people that they'll just flip out if they're losing, you know. And it's like you're entitled to winning, you know. I know this one kid, right? He was telling me the story. He lost the game of 2K, and when he lost, he broke his controller. He punched a hole in the wall. He opened up his bedroom window. He jumped out the window. He lives on the first floor though, thank God. Jumped out the window and ran down the street screaming. It's like, bro, why you take a loss so personally instead of taking your training personally and taking time to improve yourself personally and getting better, you know? Because the better man always deserves to win. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're boxing and you kick my ass, like good, I should have lost, you know? Maybe I need to get my defense up. Maybe I need to get my hands up. Maybe I need to move more. Maybe I need to, you know? And if I'm smart, after you beat me up in the ring, what I need to do is ask you, yo, what do you think I could work on? Or why did you win and not me? Like, what can I do better? What did I do wrong? Like, you know, from what you notice. And that's how you improve, man. You take people that are a couple steps ahead of you and see what they have to offer you in terms of advice, you know? One thing about, you know, rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle, but he used to always Google shit. He used to always ask people questions. You know, anyone who knew something that he didn't, he wasn't scared to have a conversation and put them in a position to get them talking. Because once you get people talking, right, they'll tell you how they acquired their knowledge, or they'll tell you how to execute on something. They'll tell you how to do something that you might have no idea how to do if you just ask a bunch of questions in regards to that topic. But some people are like, they don't want to ask questions because they don't want to look stupid, or they don't want to seem like they don't know anything. You know? What's up, Vernell? What's going on? So yeah, man. I don't know, man. So yeah, I always found it super interesting getting back to Gary when he said, "Yo, I love losing," you know, because there's so many people that they like the idea of being on the top of a mountain, but they rather teleport. You know, they don't want to. They don't fucking like climbing. You know, if you like being on the top of the mountain, you better like climbing more than you like being on. And I think that's what Gary means when he says, "I like losing." I think like a metaphor to translate that, he's saying, "I like climbing the mountain more than being on top of it." You know, and when you like climbing mountains, you'll get sad at the top because you're like, fuck, the climb is over. I already won. There's nothing else to look forward to. You know what I mean? So it's like, what else is there to do next? And maybe that's why some celebrities, when they get massively successful, they fall into depression because they don't have any more goals because they've accomplished everything that they set out to do. And now it's like, now what? And some people, they only set some goals to prove a couple people wrong. Once you prove the 5 people wrong that didn't believe in you, that you felt should have, like your mom, your dad, or your fucking brother, your cousin, sister, uncle, friends. Once you prove all them motherfuckers wrong, then what? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why when you have a goal that's not based on proving people wrong, you'll get so much further. Because then once you prove people wrong, it's like there's no motivation to continue. What are you going to do? Continue proving them wrong? Like, you know? So, and it's crazy. We're always setting goals for other people. It's always the like, prove something or show people, oh, I'll show you, you know? And it's like the moment you have to do that shit is when you forgot your worth, you know? Because if you know you can do something, what does it matter that they don't believe it? You know what I'm saying? What does it matter your own father doesn't support you, you know? Like the only co-signature you need is your own. You know, we're out here waiting on 6 people to believe in us. Meanwhile, you can't even find one person that believes in you, you know? And you want 6. It's like, bruh, just you believe, you know? It's your dream. You cultivate it. You manifest it. You bring that shit into existence. You know, and the thing about people, no one gives a fuck. If you ever manifest all that you could be, and if you die with all of your potential still inside of you, you know, it's the crazy thing about life. That's why you have to care. You know, we're always waiting on mom to care, dad to care, and fucking, Oh, how come no one gives me emotional support? Because they don't see the vision you see. You know what I'm saying? They don't see what you see. You know, and so when someone's climbing their mountain, whatever their mountain is, whether you want to be a lawyer or a physician or a model, drawer, painter, rapper, poet, you know what I'm saying, YouTuber, whatever your mountain is, I know one guy who he did one YouTube video. He got one fucking bad comment and was like, I don't know if I want to do YouTube anymore. You know, and like that shit comes from when people drop a bad comment on your YouTube video. You're mad because you don't believe they had the right to make that comment. A funny thing happens when you start believing that people have the right to say whatever the fuck they feel like saying. All of a sudden, you don't care that they said something that you would have said, oh, they shouldn't say that, because you don't have that criteria or standard anymore on what you think people should or shouldn't say. You think that people are free to say whatever in the hell they want to say, and you start telling yourself the problem is not that people are offensive. The problem is I'm weak as hell, and people are never going to stop being offensive, which means there's only one option for me. I have to get stronger. You know what I'm saying? We try to censor people's speech so that our weak asses could feel better. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the issue. The issue is not censoring people or trying to prohibit people from speaking. The problem is, why are you so fucking affected by something bad that someone else said to you? You know what I'm saying? Don't you think that's a problem? Because don't you think that once you meet a bunch of people that think and talk and act the same way that that one person that violated you, like imagine you meet like 300 other people like that. You're going to cripple under pressure, just like when you met the one person that acts like that. And, one thing I learned, every time I hated somebody, every time I disliked somebody, every mindset, every person you could have a problem with, there's at least 5 million people exactly like them. In fact, anything you could possibly be interested in, there's 5 million people that are into that. So many insecure artists, so many people that, they create artwork and they get sad because one fucking person doesn't like your art. Do you think Apple needs everybody to buy Apple products? Everybody's not buying Apple products. Not the whole damn planet. You know what I'm saying? If every person had an iPhone, there would be no other platforms. There would be no LG or Samsung, you know what I'm saying? Galaxies and Androids and stuff like that. But it's cool though that not everybody buys Apple, because Apple as a company doesn't fucking need everybody to like their product or to purchase it. They have their portion of, they have their market share, they have their section, they have their group, not any one thing is for everybody, So if you're an artist, you're going to create songs that people don't like. And then once you realize they don't like it, cool, move on. It wasn't written for them. It wasn't written with them in mind. It was written for like-minded people who's going to like that type of song, Because anything you could imagine that you could be interested in, there's many people, millions of other people that are also interested in it. And this is why some people never want to move forward with their art or with they think their idea is not creative enough. There's people that they want to do YouTube videos and they want to just cook food. And while they're cooking, they want to vlog and talk about their life, stuff like that. But they feel like there's nothing exciting about their life. It's like, talk about the boring shit. You have no idea how your boring ass life is exciting to someone else. You know what I'm saying? But you're so stuck in your own head thinking, yo, it's boring to you, but it's like you're a focus group of one person. Like, you don't get to decide that your own stuff is boring only from your perspective, but you can't decide that for other people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't decide for you that Mortal Kombat is a bad game if you love it, if that's your favorite game on earth and you know every fucking combo. If you know every combo and you know how to play with every character, obviously you love that game. Obviously it's a great game to you. But I can't get in your head and make you think that it's not, if that's all you've been playing your whole life. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, from my perspective, I could say Mortal Kombat sucks to me. Like, to me it's whack, or to me, like, Street Fighter is whack, or to me, But if I create something, that's why a lot of shit is subjective, So many things are subjective. Hey, Betty, what's going on? So when you create a song, when you write a poem, your perspective on that poem, it's okay to think that, you know what I mean? Well, it's okay to think that it's awesome or to think that it's not good. But what's crazy is you could write a terrible song from your perspective and thousands of people like it and download it and play it all the time. And it's terrible to you, On the vice versa, you could write an amazing song from your own perspective and thousands of people hate the song and are like, why the hell you even wrote this whack song? Like, the song is terrible, So there's so many people judging their own work, judging how they're going to be perceived, judging how, trying to get into the heads of everybody else as if everyone's gonna, view your artwork from the same lens, from the same insecure lens of it's not good enough, it's not this, it's not that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, man. I know one guy, man. He respects my opinion too much. I never want people to respect my opinion so much that when I say something, it has the power to break your heart and make you feel sad. Like, there was one guy that he admired me so much as an artist that he was like, like as a rapper and stuff, that when he would write his own raps and stuff, and I didn't really like his content, he would feel sad. He was like, "Oh man, I really admire your perspective," or this and that. And he just had a lot of excuses, man. Hopefully he's not like that anymore. But I remember I told him, I said, "Bro, look, my favorite rapper in the world. Let me see what time it is. My favorite rapper in the world is Hobson, right? I have 150 songs. If I showed him all 150 and he doesn't like any of them, I don't give a fuck. And this is my favorite rapper in the world, but I really feel like, yo, fuck his opinion. Like, even though I love this dude's music, like, and he's an amazing lyricist, but you know why I say fuck his opinion? Because if I let his opinion get into my head so much, while like, wow, the guy that I idolized doesn't like my stuff, or he doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Yo, that would discourage me. And I don't have time for discouragement. I only have time for encouragement. It would make me like get into a weird state of mind where it's like, man, I don't know if I want to write songs anymore. Cause it's like, if my favorite rapper doesn't like my stuff, then it must be bad, And it's like, no, it's only bad according to his subjective point of view. But when I put him as a person on a pedestal so high, you know, it sets me up for a long drop. You know what I'm saying? So I had a friend that would really get discouraged when I don't like his content. And it's like, bro, what do you want me to do? Lie to you? You want me to tell you that your shit is good if it's not? And when I tell you that it's bad, I'm only speaking from my perspective. Like, you know, like I'll never tell like I used to think, yeah, I used to be a lot more like shallow minded. I used to be like, man, if it's whack to me, it should be whack to other people. I don't think like that no more. Now it's like, nah, you know what? That's too prideful to say. It's only whack to me. I hate mumble rap, but obviously mumble rap has a huge fan base behind it. Otherwise people wouldn't be, you know, showing up to these concerts and supporting and watching it, you know what I'm saying? And I know some rappers be like, yo, how can anyone listen to this trash? And it's like, bro, because it's trash to you. Like, if it was trash to them, do you think they would be listening to it? You know what I'm saying? Like, some girls, they be getting abused in their relationships. And you might say to yourself, how can this girl stay with a dude for 10 years? She's been dating a monster for 10 years. It's like, bro, do you think if she perceived him as a monster, that she would still stay? Obviously, she must think he's an angel or something. And that's why she's still in a relationship. Like, it's a monster to you because you would have left. But, it's everything she wants because she believes he could change, even though you believe that person that's abusing her can't ever change. You know what I'm saying? So perspective, like, everyone has a different perspective. I remember there was one quote. It was like, nothing is either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Which means thinking it's bad makes it bad, or thinking it's good makes it good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's things that are like objectively, like, no matter who argues with what is like wrong or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But even with that, there will be people that they'll turn something objective into be like, oh, well, that's your opinion. That's subjective. So, anyways, I don't know how I got into all that, but so yeah, man, like, whatever your dream is, man, you're gonna get people that don't believe in you. You're gonna get people that tell you, don't do it, get a job, be a basic ass human being like everyone else, basic individual. Basic people want you to be basic. Like I was saying earlier, fire truck driver, like, he's gonna tell you that you should be a fire truck driver. Like, anybody working at a bank will tell you to work at a bank. Doctors will tell you to be a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I've learned to think outside of myself, and before I give you advice, I want to know what you're good at first. And maybe you should go do something that you're good at, like just because want to be like, I'll never advise someone to be a motivational speaker. It's like, yo, maybe you don't like talking as much as I do. Maybe you're not even good at speaking. Like, maybe that's not your talent. Your talent is something else. Maybe it's engineering. Maybe it's fixing things. You know what I mean? So it's like, so it's selfish. It would be selfish of me for me to advise you to do everything that I'm good at. It's like, how does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? Because we're not the same person. And you might be good at some things that are just different than what I'm good at. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, so yeah, man, like, there's always gonna be, losing is part of the game, getting back to that. And I just don't take losses personally because I really know where I'm going, you know. God willing, you know, if I could live until I'm 50 at least, that's more than enough time to accomplish everything that I know I could accomplish, you know. But, you know, if something random happens and I die way before then, obviously there's nothing I could do about that. But, you know, if I live till 50, you know, I'm going to do all that I know that I could do, you know. And the bigger picture is all that I'm looking at. That's why when small things happen or little inconveniences happen, it's like, yo, whatever, like, you know, there be some days where, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a place I'm staying now. Like there's no heat. You gotta get a portable heater and stuff, turn it on. You know what I'm saying? Like there's times when I sleep on the floor and shit. And like, you know, crazy shit. But none of that bothers me, you know? Like I'm comfortable being uncomfortable. You know, some people are so Hollywood, they need a hotel suite to be comfortable. They need an overpriced vehicle to be comfortable. They need a, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, like, give me a smartphone with some internet, right? Where I could do my podcast, you know, 2 meals a day and somewhere to sleep. I'm good with that, you know. So, like, I'm cool sleeping in my car if I have to. I'm cool because, you know, I know that I'm not always going to be here. Like, some people are so fancy that having to go through that would bother them so much. That's because all they know how to do is get consumed by the inconveniences instead of get consumed by your fucking life purpose and what you're supposed to accomplish before you die or what you would like to accomplish before you die. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, you know, if I had 10 minutes to live, I don't think it would matter that I slept on the floor here and there. You know what I'm saying? That I slept in a car here and there. That I had a Planet Fitness membership so I could have a place to shower here and there. Like, what would any of that matter? You know what I'm saying? If I had 10 minutes to live, to me personally, you know, and I'm not imposing this on anyone, but all that would matter is, did I or did I not do what I was created to do? You know what I'm saying? Did I accomplish that or not? That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we be thinking that 4,000 things matter. And I doubt that there's even 50 things that matter, you know? I doubt that if you made a list of 25 things that actually matter, that you could even get to 25, you know what I'm saying, in the scheme of things, you know? And we make life about people's opinions, people spreading rumors, or they shouldn't talk about me behind my back. You know what I'm saying? Usually, as soon as you hear someone say something bad about you, you're like, oh, the nerve of this person to talk. They should get their life sorted out. They should do this. They should, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, how are you any different than them if as soon as you hear they're talking bad about you, you proceed to do the same thing they're doing? And now you're being molded. Now, you know what I'm saying? They've been molded by the world, and now you're being molded by their injustice. Now you're a product of what they do to you instead of being who you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Being indirectly affected by other people. There's so many people that's like, yo, if you're going to be stingy, all right, I'm going to be stingy. You're going to be selfish, I'm going to be selfish. You're going to be hateful, spiteful, then I'm going to do that too, you know? And it's like, yo, be who you want to be, man. Like, you know, we're so influenced and molded by people, you know? And it's like, sometimes we don't realize the qualities that we hate in other people, we're guilty of possessing at the times that we're complaining about other people's qualities, you know? Like, you know, there's so many people that they possess every quality that they nitpick in other people. And it's like, yo, fix the shit that you got going on, bro. Like, you know, like, you can't fix other people. So I don't know. That's one thing I learned, man. I don't try to fix nobody. I do my podcast. I chill. And I just realized life is a numbers game. Life is statistics, you know, and a percentage of people are just never going to listen. Some are going to die the same forever. They're going to be messed up people, you know, and that's just the way that these numbers work out, you know. People can change, you know. Sometimes there's people that's on a path that seems like they're going down a path of destruction, and then they veer over, and now they're on the other side of the fence, and they're doing well for themselves because they woke up finally, or whatever happened, you know what I'm saying? So there's always hope for a person, but, you know, ultimately, there's some people are always going to be assholes, you know. Some people are never going to have manners. Whatever you consider to be common courtesy, they're never going to have that. Some people are never going to respect you, like you, talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Some people are always going to spread rumors. No matter how many times they get beat up for doing it, they're going to keep spreading rumors until someone, you know what I'm saying, takes them out because of it or whatever, you know. Some people are always going to vlog about your life, or, you know, some people are always going to write subliminal messages that you know was written about you. You know what I mean? Some people are always going to be optimistic, pessimistic, you know, and whatever side of the fence somebody's on, they could always switch over at any moment if they want to, you know. But, you know, life is a numbers game ultimately. So once I really understood that, I just stopped believing, yo, why are you on this side of the fence? You should be on the other side. You know what I'm saying? Like, now it's just like, I always have hope for people. I always believe in people's potential. You know what I'm saying? But I don't be wanting change for them more than they want it for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause some people don't want God. You know, some people don't want to be righteous. Some people don't want to go to church. Some people don't want. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I say this a lot, right? Like, so if you're Christian, you know, then you believe that God's greatest expression of love towards you is his son dying on the cross. I really believe his second greatest expression is him giving you free will and respecting it, you know, giving you the option to defy him. That's crazy when you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the privilege to walk the other direction if you feel like it, you know. Now, whether or not that's a smart decision is a separate conversation entirely, but the fact that you even have that option is incredible. It shows that God's not a tyrant. It shows that it's not all about him. It shows that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to live your life according to his standard. You can make up your own set of rules. Now, with every standard that we follow, or with every, you know what I'm saying, whatever decision that we make, whatever mindset that we have, there's a consequence for having that mindset, that decision, you know, because whatever mindset you have leads to a set amount of decisions that you're going to make based on your mindset. You know what I'm saying? People are controlled by the way they think, you know, and the only way to change their life is the way to change the way they think, you know, because their life comes from their thoughts. You know what I'm saying? All their bitterness, all their anger, all their jealousy, all their, you know what I'm saying? And then we rationalize being jealous. We rationalize being angry. And then you wonder why you're always angry. You know what I'm saying? It's because every time you get there, you tell yourself if someone would have behaved differently, you would have never reacted the way you did, you know? So that means everybody's in control of your anger button. They're just pushing it all the time, and they could get a reaction out of you at will whenever they feel like it, because you're not in control of your emotions, you know what I mean? So, anyways, I talk about that enough in so many podcasts. I'm not even going to go into what I usually go into too much on this one. But yeah, man, I just wanted to talk about losses and losing and how it's better when you don't take it personal, because you have an end goal that you have an end goal that you're trying to get to, and that's what matters to you ultimately. You know what I mean? Not, you don't care about the micro losses, you know, or the major losses, and you don't feel like it's a setback, you know. And the only way to feel like it's not a setback is to really believe that your end goal, that you're gonna reach it, you know. And that's why, to me, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who wants to be a part of my life and who doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me a second. Like, who wants to be my friend, who doesn't? Who wants to have common courtesy, who doesn't? Who doesn't want to return my text? You know what I'm saying? So, cause like, you know, none of that has anything to do with the stuff I want to accomplish. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, like, you know, like with life being a number game, and, you know, sometimes people that you wish was on a certain side of the fence, they're always going to be like, you ever notice sometimes it's the people that you wish loved you, they don't give a damn about you, and the people that you don't give a damn about probably, that love you so much, you know. I remember there was times in my life where there was girls that I was super not interested in, but they were super interested in me, and I was like, damn, how come the girl that I like can't have this girl's passion, you know? I wish I could take the passion that this girl has for me and put it into a person that I'm actually interested in, so that, you know, the feeling could be mutual instead of one-sided, you know. But it's like, yo, I have no control over a girl that I'm not interested liking me, you know what I'm saying? Or the girl that I am interested wanting nothing to do with me, you know what I'm saying? So, anyways, so yeah, man, I lost so much money, right? Like I said, over $4,000, probably $5,000 in investing in things that didn't work out. And not because they didn't work, not because these were bad opportunities, just because I was bad. Like, a basketball works, you know what I mean? If you shoot 100 jump shots and you miss 100, the basketball is not broken. You're broken. You don't know how to fucking shoot a basketball. You know what I mean? That means you suck as a person when it comes to shooting a basketball, you know. But nothing's wrong with the basketball. See, sometimes we join businesses and we come to the conclusion that the business sucks. It's like, no, your marketing sucks. Your work ethic sucks. Your ability to, you know. And here's the thing about another thing. Like, I talk about entrepreneurship and why in that arena it's good not to take shit personally. Some of you have network marketing companies, and you're going to jump into random people's inboxes and you're going to try to pitch them immediately without that. You don't even know them, you know. You don't even realize the likeliness of them having anything to do with your business is slim to none, because they're like, who are you? The only reason you're in my inbox is because you want something. You know what I'm saying? They instantly categorize you as that. You know that one friend that you ain't talked to for 25 years, but now that he has a flat tire, he wants to call you and ask you for some money, but he can't call you any other time. You know what I'm saying? All these network marketers jumping in your inbox, they get categorized as that type of person. The only reason you showed up is to get something out of me. You're not here to sell me a product. You're here to extract money from me. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even care if I believe in your product or I even like your product. You know, some people will sell anything. You know, there's people that'll sell a $4,000 vacuum cleaner, right? And they don't even care about the vacuum cleaner. They just care about getting the $4,000. And the only reason they're trying to convince the customer that it's a great vacuum cleaner is because the salesman knows if I could convince them and if they believe it, then I'll get a huge commission off of it. You know what I mean? So it's the commission that you believe in, not in the product, not in providing a service to a customer or providing value. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always say life's a numbers game. You know, the stuff that I say, I think it applies to so many things. You know, so if you're marketing your business and you realize life is a numbers game, you've already come to the conclusion a percentage of people are going to think your business opportunity is retarded. A percentage of people are going to think you're doing a pyramid scheme or a Ponzi scheme or whatever they call it. You know what I'm saying? And some people are always going to think like that, you know? Like, and you might tell yourself, there's a lot of angry entrepreneurs out here that'll be like, yo, I don't understand how you work for somebody for 47 years and you don't realize that's one of the biggest scams. And you get into $100,000 student loan debt. You don't realize that's the biggest scam. But then you see people making $5,000 per week on the internet and you think that's a scam when you fell for the biggest scam in the world, which is selling your time to another man and building another man's empire instead of working on what you want to do, right? There's a lot of, I see those type of statuses all the time. Entrepreneurs mad at the working class people that don't want to convert and hop on their side. And it's like, are you mad because you can't get a commission from these people? Or like, you know what I mean? Like, because if you have a self-seeking attitude, as if people are supposed to perceive life the way that you do, that's why every time you meet people that don't think like you, you're positioned for anger. And it's not even people making you angry. It's just your expectation on how they should think like you. Why should another man think like you? Like, are they under obligation to see the world the way you do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it mandatory to see the world the way you do? If it's not, then why are you tripping over people that don't see it your way? Like, you don't understand. Like, people come from different cultures, you know? Like, a Muslim person is never going to agree with Christian doctrine unless it's meant for him to eventually, you know? But if someone comes from the Middle East, like, why are you surprised that they praise Allah? You know, most people from the Middle East do, you know, that's their religion over there, you know? So I don't know, man. We create weird scenarios in our heads of how we think life should be happening and how perception should be. And I realized, you know, none of that shit is my business. It's not my business what your perception of life is or how you perceive life or what your values are or how your values are wrong or for me to check you on them. Like, who the hell am I to try to check you on anything? You know, there's people that argue on the internet and it's like, bro, the people you're arguing with, they don't even know you. And that's why you don't even have a voice. You know, that's why your words won't go into their heart. You know what I'm saying? That's why you get blocked because they're like, yo, who's this dude on Facebook trying to correct me and get politically correct about something I posted that he doesn't agree with or blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember one time, there'd be times when I would post stuff that people don't agree with, right? And those would get the most comments, you know? People that I don't talk to at all would all of a suddenly get super self-righteous and say, oh, you shouldn't say that. But the only time they came around is when they're telling me what I shouldn't be doing. They never came around to have a conversation. And then they wonder why I didn't give a fuck about anything they had to say. Because it's like, bro, like, you don't have rapport with me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like, I'll let you say what you have to say. But if you think your words are going to mean anything to me, you know what I'm saying? You're not even we're not cool. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that I have to be cool with somebody for their words to mean something to me. Because, like, I know people that I'm not cool with. Their words mean everything to me. There's so many people that inspire me on YouTube more than people that I've ever met physically. And these people's words mean so much to me. You know, some of these people passed on, you know, and they're not alive anymore. And some of them I hope I get to meet before I die, before they die. But it's people that are so inspirational, man, you know. So, yeah, that goes to show, you know, show me, that it shows me that I don't have to personally know somebody to respect their opinion. But sometimes people go into a conversation imposing their viewpoint without hearing the other side or hearing the other perspective or being like, yo, you know what? Here's what I think. But let me stop talking for a second because I'm super interested to see what your perspective is, what your disagreements are, Or do you agree? You know what I'm saying? What do you see that's wrong that I'm saying? What could be better in this presentation? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Show people that you're interested in what they have to say, and they'll automatically be interested in what you have to say. Most of the time, anyways. That's how it works, because humans are very reciprocal. Like, humans are like, all right, you listen to me, I'll listen to you. You don't listen to me, I won't listen to you. You don't respect me, I won't respect you. You don't love me, I don't love you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're so reciprocal that, it could be exploited. And so a lot of times it is. A lot of times people will, do things because they know it positions you to act a certain way so they could get something out of you, and they'll manipulate, that. But anyways, so I don't know where the hell I am in this podcast in terms of the topic anymore. But last thing I want to say, then I'm going to close this out. If there's something that you're sitting on that you want to do, right? Don't let self-doubt stop you, Don't let 2,000 scenarios of all the bad things that could possibly happen rule your life. Because none of that shit happened yet, which means none of it matters. Nothing wrong with knowing and being aware of what could be happening, but to be crippled by a bunch of random fake scenarios that did not happen yet, it just makes no sense to dwell on things that are not here yet and dwell on how it could be happening. You know what I'm saying? Just, do what you feel, whatever your calling is, you know what I'm saying? Like, do that, and don't worry about what bad things could be happening. Because as you're worrying, you're coming up with more and more excuses as to why you shouldn't even try. Because you start making yourself believe that all the bad things are going to happen. And it's like, what's the sense of this anymore? What's the point of pursuing this if nothing but bad is going to come out of it? And that discourages you from even going for it or even trying, and then you're always going to lose, and then you won't even have an option of you won't even have the chance to even try to win, because you're already losing based on the way you think. It disempowers you from moving forward, your thought process. So yeah, man, I don't think, I think regret is worse than losing. It's scarier than losing. It's better to lose something than to regret not even trying and spend the rest of your life wondering what could have happened if you did try. Because then you're gonna be like, damn, why didn't I try? Because see, here's what humans do. At first we're like, nah, it's not worth it, I'm gonna fail anyways, right? You say that at 20 years old. At 85 years old, you know what you're saying instead? Damn, but what if though? What if I would have tried? Maybe my life would have panned out differently. Maybe I would have not got 4 divorces because I would have met the right woman and I would have stayed with her forever. Maybe I would have executed all my dreams. Maybe I would have had my dream career job. Maybe I would have, that shit. Being 85 years old and reflecting on what you could have did and how you let your pessimistic neighbors and friends and relatives talk you out of your greatness, that's going to fuck with you more than any amount of losing that you could do now in the present if you're 20, 30, 40, 50. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're old as hell and you realize, yo, you probably got 10 years left to live if God grants you that much, you know what I'm saying? And you're too old to play basketball if you wanted to do sports, or to, if you feel like you're too old to be a rapper if you wanted to do that, like regret is worse than losing. That feeling is a lot worse than losing, because you could get over losing. You'll still have an opportunity to win if you stay in the game. But regret, it's like, and you can't get back into the game because you're too old to play it anymore. And I remember I was listening to Gary talk. He was like, that's why I like entrepreneurship, because he was like, you could be an entrepreneur at 99 and you don't have to retire. But he was like, most athletes, they retire around 40 years old and they can't play the sport that they loved so much. And he was like, that scares me. He was like, it'd be a scary thing if I was talented at sports and I could only play till 40. And if I live another 40 years when I can't do the sport because I'm too, I wore out my legs or my knees or whatever. So anyways, yeah, whatever your dream is, man, it's not other people that you need to believe in you. It's definitely you. You know what I'm saying? And once you believe in you, you're set for life. Like, now you can start moving forward with your belief. Now you can start manifesting everything that you say you believe and making it a reality, And some people just are never going to believe for whatever reason. And don't take it personal, you know what I'm saying? Take your goals personal and the stuff that you want to do. Take that more personal than the opinions that you think other people shouldn't have. They're entitled to their opinion. Shit, you're entitled to yours. What if someone tried to tell you that you don't have the right to say, think, and feel a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd probably be like, yo, who the hell are you to say that to me? It's like, yeah, but well, who the hell are you to even think that about others? You know what I'm saying? Like, we want privileges that we deny others of. That shit is so hypocritical, you know? For you to want respect and not respect anyone else, or for you to want kindness and not be kind to anybody else, for you to, you know, like, humans are reciprocal. So if you send a lot of negative energy, you're positioning yourself to receive everything that you put out into the world. You know, some people hate what they're reaping, but they love sowing what they're reaping. You know, they love sowing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they love sowing seeds of destruction, but they hate reaping a harvest of it. You know, but it's like, what do you think was gonna happen? Sowing a seed of destruction, you're gonna get a harvest of it. If you don't like destruction, stop sowing the seeds of destruction, so you won't reap that type of harvest anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop reaping seeds of maliciousness, pettiness, and, you know what I'm saying? Like, just being such a messed up person towards other people. But yet, when that same energy, like, comes back to you, now you're like, damn, why is this happening? Because you put it out into the world. You know what I'm saying? And because people are reciprocal. You know. But so, anyways, so I'm gonna leave it on that note. You know, don't be scared to lose. You know, I feel like there's somebody in the world right now with so much money in their bank account, and they've always wanted to open up a restaurant, but that's a huge investment. It's like 100 grand or whatever, and their friends is like, nah, that's stupid. You should just save your money. But it's like, money saved depletes over time, but a good investments, you know, it'll make it so that you always have money. Last thing I want to say, right? Broke people, they buy luxuries. Broke people buy luxuries, and then their luxuries become a liability that they can't afford anymore. Rich people buy assets, and they let their assets buy their luxuries, right? Their asset is like, you know, having houses in real estate. You know, I remember I was listening to the story about Robert Kiyosaki, the guy that wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, and there was a time in his life when he had 5,000 people paying him rent per month. Like, I don't know how much money that is, but average rent in the United States is probably like $600, seven. So even $600, imagine $600 times 5,000 people every month. That's crazy. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. So that's what he did. He bought assets, and then he let his assets buy his luxuries. You know what I mean? Like, and the broke people, like, soon as they get a check, straight to getting Jordans, straight to getting a Versace $1,000 belt. You know what I'm saying? Like, stupid shit that doesn't produce wealth for you. It only becomes a liability. And then, you know what I'm saying? I remember there was this other quote. It was like, if you buy a bunch of things you don't need, you're gonna have to. If you buy things you don't need, you're gonna have to sell the things you need to get what you want. Something like that. I forgot how it went, but it was interesting the way that it was written. When you buy stuff you don't need, one day you're gonna have to sell everything you need. I forgot. You know, if I could think of it, I'll say it on my next podcast. But it's something like that. But yeah. So, anyways, so I'm gonna let you guys go. You know, enjoy your Sunday. Take care. Stay encouraged, man. And forgive me for the cursing. You know. And yeah, have a good day. Take care.